It has a graphic from 2 weeks ago. That's fantastic. How are you? Woo! Damn it. We're doing
What
so
else
well.
is new?
What else is new? Oh, what the hell. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Coexisting with Rob and Maggie. We are back. Everything is normal, as you can see.
No, everything is not normal. Let me just take it over from here. Rob! I'm so proud of you. You're so amazing. You are a constant inspiration, all right? Like, I slack off so much. I've worked out once this week, all right? Once. You haven't stopped working in months every day, like, except for, weekends, because for normal people, weekends mean something, like, not for me. But yeah, I'm so ridiculously proud of you. I went totally off script. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
But you just, you have something special, all right? Like, please just don't give up. Never.
Oh, yeah.
You are doing an amazing job. And yes, you're doing such an amazing job. You actually, when you first started doing this, I was like pushing you to do it because I was myself working out a lot. Well, now I stopped and you and you began, and you inspire me now. So I'm just so ridiculously proud of you guys. Please like the video, share the video, send in your super chats to say just how amazing Rob is doing, because I'm just so proud of him. And now I'm gonna let him talk because I threw him out of his game. Let me just do this one more time.
Well, thank you so much for that. I can't believe it. Like, that was something that when I saw that $2.99 come up, I got off the scale and I got back on it. I'm like, all right, don't fuck with me here. And I like it went to $2.99 again, and I'm like, just scratching my head, and I'm like, okay, one more time, and if it's $2.99 again, I'm like, okay, we'll go with it. And sure enough, and I was just like, holy crap. And it was a I felt, I'm gonna try to say this without trying to get emotional. This is the first time in a long time that I can say I did something that made me proud of myself. That's the first time that I can remember ever really saying that in a long time.
Are you saying you're not proud of our show, Rob?
Well, no, I meant proud of myself for something like...
I know, I was...
Yeah, oh, I'm definitely proud of our show, but that was like... But like even doing like little things, like even work stuff, like in my past, I was never like proud of myself for doing this, doing that. And this is something that I never thought would happen, especially when you have some of the best. If you work at the Mayo Clinic, you're one of the best doctors. And to be honest, you're one of the best in the world. If you are a doctor at this hospital, I mean, this is where Jessie the Buckeye's been going. Like, she goes to like one of the satellite locations, and the fact that I'm not even mad at this doctor. Like, I wasn't mad at all. Never mad at this doctor. But when he said that I would never be able to do this on my own without having surgery, and I didn't want to do the surgery because I was already nervous about it, and I was just like, let's just see how I can do. Let's give it a month, let's see how I do. And then I felt like, you know what, I'm doing okay. I'm losing this weight. I'm cutting back. I'm like, I'm gonna shoot for it. I was never mad at the doctor. I'm glad that he unintentionally pushed me. So in a way, I still look at Mayo Clinic as saving my life in a way, because I mean, the most I ever weighed was 536 that I know of. So that's 236 pounds more than what I am now. And it's crazy. But I want to say thank you to everybody in chat. That means everything to me. And thank you, Maggie, for throwing us off course. I was not expecting that. So thank you very much.
Come on.
Well,
you were most certainly expecting that. Of
Well,
course, I'm gonna brag about
no,
your
I know, but I wasn't Well, I appreciate it. I just wasn't expecting it to start the show, especially after showing that graphic from 2 weeks ago. So, but man, what
You're
a
too okay. Okay, let me
okay,
tell you. Let me explain yourself.
okay.
You were too busy getting buff, and that's why you didn't, correct the graphic.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thanks. That was it. So,
Of course,
uh,
let's go with that.
our good friend Jackie Rodriguez sends us a super chat. Much love to you, beautiful people, and congratulations and wishes to you, Rob. Thank you, Jackie. That means a lot to me, and I'm still pissed off with what Jay Lethal did to our buddy this past week. Um, not a fan at all. I don't like Jay Lethal, but Dax Harwood should win every match he ever has. That's just my opinion.
I'm pissed about that match, by the way.
And our other buddy Soupy sends us a super chat. Congrats, Rob. Hope there will be more 299s today. I hope so too, man. My next goal is 275. So just hitting a goal and being proud of myself is something. And so thank you very much for that. That means a lot. But Maggie, all the talk this week, and we always start with AEW Dynamite. I know we hope that we can usually start with WWE occasionally.
Aren't you gonna ask me how I'm doing?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I know. I have a funny story.
Okay. Yeah. I'm so thrown off right now. So, Maggie, how you doing?
Oh, that's totally natural.
Yeah, that was natural.
Well, okay, so I spoke to you today that I was so busy all day, ridiculously busy, and I usually, like on Fridays, I usually watch NXT UK and Impact during my shift, but I didn't have the opportunity of doing that while I was working, so I actually was watching Impact while I was walking home on my way home on my phone.
Okay.
So I usually do that with Saudi shows when I'm going home because they're happening at my time. So I was waiting for the light to change so I could cross the street, and I was on my headphones and I was just watching the phone and watching Impact. And I realized that about 5 people were staring at my phone. They were standing behind me, who were also waiting for the light to change, and they were watching without any context a bloody Sammy Callahan wrapped in barbed wire.
Nice.
Imagine that. All right, like
Oh,
if the majority of people, if they watch wrestling here, they watch WWE. They have no idea what Impact is, Ring of Honor is, like no such thing. So they see these, ropes and that says Impact Wrestling, and no, it says Impact. It doesn't say wrestling. It says Impact, and they have no idea what that is. And I was like, oh hi. Can you? Did you watch Impact?
I did not get the chance to.
Yeah, but
I
like
will.
Sammy Callahan does this promo with the microphone, and the microphone gets stuck in the barbed wire. And imagine having no idea what that is, and just seeing that a girl like me is watching this while waiting for the light to change.
Did anybody say anything?
I don't know. I had.
Oh, well, I mean, I didn't know if you took them off, like whenever.
No, I don't give a crap. Like,
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was just curious. Like, I knew you wouldn't give a crap either, but I was just curious if you said anything. That's funny though. Got another super chat from our friend John Barker here. Maybe. Let's see how this goes. Only here to simp for Rob and Maggie. Love you both. How you doing, Maggie? See, that's better than how I did it.
Yeah. Does people care how I'm doing?
Well, I know I do too. You know that. I check on you every day.
I know.
I just forgot for a second. Chris, our friend Chris, Doc. Rob is looking slim. Yeah, I wasn't going there because I'm like, I know it's Mueller, but Mueller, like Bueller. Ferris Bueller. Rob is looking slim. Maggie has a great new haircut, which is true.
Which is
Very
not new, Chris. By the
well.
way,
It is new. Like within the past,
yeah,
it's still
You
considered.
know who? Okay, I've spent all my day with one of my bosses and his future workers because I told you he was opening up a fast food joint right in front of my bar.
Oh,
None of them still have noticed my hair. None of them.
bastards! Those bastards!
None of them.
I'd slap the shit out of them if I were you. I would backhand them as I knock a water down. Whoops.
What else is new?
The coexisting crew is killing it. Thank you, Chris, and you're killing it. I love what you just did for our friend Molly Bell, by the way.
Molly's back.
Molly is back. Molly Bell, who
Twitter is already a better place.
yeah, she took a sabbatical from Twitter for a little while, and she is back. She is a lovely person. And Chris interviewed Daniel Garcia. Was that yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. And he had Daniel Garcia leave a positive message for Molly, and just kind of like how he did for both Maggie and I when he had Wardlow leave a message for Maggie, and he had Dax leave a message for me, and just really cool that he does that. It's unbelievable.
So great.
And Molly is one of those people that she just makes you smile because she's just an unbelievable person, and you definitely need to follow her. And I can never remember her Twitter name. It's like it's
got me
ringing like YAGOTMERINGIN or Ian, I think. EN.
I cannot spell
Yeah.
it like me.
Well, as me neither. Our
We
friend
haven't
Ryan's.
talked about wrestling in we'll
Yeah, I know. I'm about to start.
in.
After I read this super chat from our friend Ryan Sullivan, then I'll get started. Ryan Sullivan, I'm not sure how I feel about Rob's awesome success. As a member of the Big Boy Club, if America is not sure, I like that. If America is not sure, I like that. If we will be losing a member. No, really, you're killing it. Great hair, too. I think the great hair is for you.
No, it's for you. You have that thing going on in the middle.
Yeah, well, for now. Thank you, Ryan. And I was a member of that club for a long, long time. So, I mean, I'll be honest. I don't think I've ever told anybody this. I weighed 45 effing pounds on my second birthday. You know how crazy that is?
I don't know how much that is.
45 pounds.
What is that for the rest of the world?
Yeah, that's true. Somebody can do the math there because I can't. But let's get started. Molly. Maggie.
I'm fine with that.
I know.
I'm totally fine with that.
Maggie. AEW Dynamite. Soupy says it's 20 kilograms.
Oh.
Yeah. Big boy. AEW Dynamite. Crazy this past week. Let's go ahead and start talking about what everybody's talking about this week. CM Punk versus Jon Moxley. Holy crap. That match did not go nearly as long as I thought it would. I don't think anybody did. What was your reaction? Usually we get your reactions, but this week you didn't have time, which is, like I told you.
I did not have time. I'm sorry.
No, you don't need to be sorry.
No. I'm really sorry because this deserved a reaction. All right.
Yeah.
Like on the one hand, but on the other hand, the reaction would have been me going like this for 1 minute. I did not expect that. And like, I have so many questions now. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
yes,
right
yes. And Mark is so right. Like every podcast I saw talked for like an hour about that, like maybe more than an hour. And how long was the match? 2-3 minutes?
Under 3 minutes.
Yeah. Like I so did not expect that, like at all.
No, I couldn't believe it. I was just like shocked. I'm like, what in the hell is this all about?
When they put the match on, and I was like, okay, so we're gonna see a long match, and maybe I don't know, because like I didn't know how long the main event would be. I knew that it was going to be, an awesome match, but I was like, why is this so early? Like it's mm, something's not right here, and it was really early what I was watching, and I was like, can I tell time? Is this the like is this the right time?
Ricardo said it was under a minute according to Cage Match, so that's probably right. I mean, oh wait,
Jesus,
two
two
59.
minutes,
Okay, I
15
was like,
minutes.
man, that was
No, 2 minutes.
um the one thing that yeah, it was shocking, and I literally had to like look up like I because I was watching it, and like when it was over, I was like, did they go to a commercial break or something? Because this seemed way too quick. I'm like,
Yes,
what the
yes,
hell happened? Um, so I think in my opinion, I think it's evident that Punk is still hurt because um, the way I look at it is he didn't when he came back 2 weeks ago at that show I was at, by the way. Um, that'll never get old. When he came back, he did. I mean, he didn't.
only because I'm so proud of you today,
Thank you.
and
Okay.
you're going to get away with everything on this
Okay.
show.
Well, thank you. Okay. Well, I won't do that anymore. Um, so when he came back, he didn't like. I'm gonna try to make this sound like I'm not gonna try to sound like a jackass here, but he didn't do much like physical stuff when he came back that first night. Like, I mean, he got a couple of hits in, but he didn't do anything where he was going back and forth, running and doing a lot of like athletic stuff. Like he cleared the ring, which was fine. Then the next week, he didn't do anything physical, if I recall. And then this week, he got punched a few times, and then he took two death riders, right? Um, and that's something where I think I think Sean said it like on the post show. He could basically say, "Look, we know I'm not ready, but I tell you what, I can take a couple of death riders if you want to have them throw me around." Like, so maybe that's the plan, and they got people talking. They hit over a 1.0 in ratings this week. So that was good. They got bigger numbers, but that was because they were advertising Moxley versus Punk. Who the hell's not going to watch that? Like, that loves wrestling.
Yeah, okay, but are they or are they not promoting the rematch for All Out?
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's that. Well, that's the thing. I don't know where they're going
Because
with this.
this would be immensely creepy.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's the thing.
why?
Like, I know that's what Dave Meltzer is reporting, and like I've said it before on this show a lot that I respect Meltzer, and I would tend to think that he's going to be right on this. But that part, I am kind of like, what the hell was the point of that?
Exactly.
Of doing that? Um, I know a lot of people were clamoring for MJF to return. Um,
I was waiting for that
yeah. The only thing I could think.
because
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
I'm
off.
I'm sorry, but like when everything like when the match ended and I was like, well, that was anticlimactic. So like why what are we getting now? And then we got nothing and I was like, okay, so this raises questions now
Yeah,
because it's like what
yeah, and I was just going to say this. I think Ryan's right on the money, and that's what I think. I think they're going to set it up for a heel turn. But my problem is how CM Punk's at that level now, in my opinion, that he's at that level where he's not really a heel. Like he's going to get cheered either way, in my opinion. I look at him on a um type. I look at him kind of like this is going to sound kind of weird, maybe to some. I look at him on a Roman Reigns type level where some will boo him, but there's going to also be a lot of fans that still cheer him because they love him. So he'll have to do. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Oh, she's got to sneeze, I think, or cough,
I'm
or
sorry. Yeah. Okay, let me just say that if there are still people who refuse to believe that Roman Reigns is amazing at what he does, they're just in denial.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So the way that match ended, and the way like this was played so perfectly, the way CM Punk stopped walking and then he turned around and watched as the audience was basking in Mox's
Glory, yeah.
glory. Yeah, this this was so good. Like the expression on his face, like the disappointment. Like you people were cheering for me, and
And that,
now they're cheering for that other guy. It doesn't. I don't think Punk gives a crap that this was Ohio.
yeah.
I don't. I don't
Oh,
think he does. And granted, there were a lot of people who were cheering Punk, but there were a lot of people who were booing Punk because they love Moxley.
yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, please don't tell Kate, but I was rooting for Moxley either way because I can't wait for a CM Punk heel turn, which he kind of already did because he turned his heel, he twisted his heel. Uh,
Mom's going to be mad at daughter, huh?
yeah, I'm sorry. Well, at least one of my moms watches wrestling. My mom hates wrestling. So I'm. I think that CM Punk is that good that he can actually turn heel in Chicago.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I just don't know how that'll work.
Like
Like I
I know I get it, but like I think that if you look at it that way, Chicago loves Punk, right?
yes.
But if they truly love Punk, they would know what they have to do in this situation. But like they have to boo him because they love him. But like if I know, but like if someone can, I think it has to be Punk, right? Like
Yeah.
he's that guy.
And this is like every time I'm about to talk, like this is what somebody beats me to my point. I think what's going to happen is Punk's going to get help from MJF, and that's what's going to do it. That's how I think MJF
I will
comes back.
believe that when I see it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing too. I'll believe it when I see it. And
But like I think that there's such incredible money still in MJF and Punk. So much. Like
yeah,
this is yeah. So on the other hand, do you believe that
that popped me. Sorry, I just left that.
yeah. Do you think that CM Punk and AEW have heat?
You know, obviously based on the stories that like Sean reported on Select, there's something there. I don't know if it's necessary. I think it's in a way I look at it as the same thing that he had problems with WWE. Like, but I think he's on
Yeah, but
better
he
terms.
left.
Yeah, but I think he's on much better terms with AEW. So the reason I say that is CM Punk hasn't really, from what I've gathered and from the stories I've read from Sean and other places and other people that are reliable, is Punk is pretty much the same that he's always been. He talks like if he's not happy about something, he lets it known. I think there's I think he's irritated about some things. And granted, he did say like an interview with Justin, I think it's Barrasso of Sports Illustrated this week, that he's very happy like with everything, and he loves. You can still be happy like with what you've done in the past year, but you could still also be like irritated or angry about some stuff. So I think it's being like blown out of proportion, but I think there is something there, but I don't think it's something where like this past like where he lost, like that wasn't a burial of him, like to say get out of here. I think it was just this is planned. It's just a lot of us fans just have no idea why they would go that route. Because it doesn't make sense. But I will give Tony credit. He's always, in my opinion, he's always done really good with. Well, I was gonna say he's always done really well with booking like his main events, but I'll be honest, I wasn't really impressed with the way he handled Hangman's title reign. So I guess,
None of the women's.
well, yeah, that's a whole different mess, and we'll
That's
get
a
into that.
whole
But
different situation.
So, but I think there's something there, like but I don't think it's nearly as bad. Um, I don't think it's
I
nearly as bad
love
as.
I love the way they handled situation on BTE. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I loved it.
That this was brilliant. Okay, first of all, like if you don't like Hangman, you're a sociopath.
Well,
Okay,
and sorry, not to cut you off before you do that. Matt Hardy said something today, like on a that.
if you don't like
Yeah,
Kenny
Kenny
Omega and the
Omega,
Young Bucks, you're a what
you're a
did you say?
effing idiot. And
Yeah,
I
you're an
like
effing idiot.
like I understand. Like some people, I understand if you don't like them in the ring, that's fine. If you don't like them as people, like based on how they do and try to entertain you, I think that's what makes you an effing idiot.
Yeah,
Like
but
I love them in the ring. I do. I love both. I love the Young Bucks in the ring, and I love Kenny Omega. But I get that some people don't, and I understand why.
yeah, like I've said it on multiple occasions. Like Kenny Omega's in ring style, his wrestling skills. Oh my god, like him and AJ Styles. These are the two that I just have to watch them live one day. And if we don't get that match ever in our lifetime, this will be just such a the biggest missed opportunity in wrestling. Seriously, I don't even care. And the Young Bucks, I know why people don't like it. I get it, but I'm a huge simp for the Bucks. I know, like they were the ones who got me so into AEW
Yeah.
because like as I've mentioned to you on multiple occasions, I uh, I always preferred watching NXT.
Okay.
Like
Or
I always watched NXT before AEW Dynamite, always. And then the whole situation between the Bucks and Hangman, like this storyline got me actually into watching AEW first because I loved it. And I will always thank them for that because I fell in love with such an amazing thing. Uh, it didn't mean that I stopped watching NXT. I still loved NXT because I will always love that show. I wish we had it back. We're getting there. I hope. Yeah, and we can talk about the rest of Dynamite if you want. But
yeah,
I'm surely not knowing what the f is happening is incredibly exciting.
yeah,
I'll say it at that. Like
yeah.
Dynamite was extremely bizarre this week. Like when I woke up to a text from Corey, and he said the Dynamite was extremely bizarre. And he like, I have amazing friends, guys. Like none of them spoil anything for me. Like the way, like nothing will be more spoiled than the episode of Dynamite than Miro debuted, and I received 54 messages on Twitter, all saying, "Oh my God, it's Miro!" Like in the first line, you know.
Yeah, and
And I
the funny thing is, I didn't message you because I'm like, nope, she already got messages.
like because I was so pissed off at that. Like I don't think anyone's ever gonna spoil anything for me. Like please, guys, do not spoil stuff. Like I watched the show in the morning, like after a couple of hours, like it's aired already. Like keep your pennies in a bunch. Like it's
Well, we'll circle back to Dynamite. I want to go ahead and just move on to something else. Johnny Gargano returned to the WWE this past week. Maggie, what was your reaction?
I did not expect that. Like as the show was happening, a commercial break.
Yeah,
And then after the commercial break, we hear Rebel Heart, and I'm like, wait, what?
yeah,
I did a double take. Like it's, and then a third and a fourth. Like it was, Canada has all the fun, okay? As a whole, Raw was so great this week. I
yeah.
loved it. And I know that Raw's bar is incredibly low, so when they have a minor, uh, s- uh, like a really a significant amount of people knew that this was a great show.
Yeah.
If it was slightly better, people would say that Raw was a great show. I recently tell people that Raw was a great show because, of course, again, that bar is really low.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like
Yeah,
everything.
this
Like
week was amazing. Like as Kate has mentioned a lot, people start sounding like human beings without someone telling them what to say in their ear. Michael Cole is bearable.
Michael Cole's excellent. Like
Yes,
the thing is he's always been good. It's just
he's
he's never.
always been this good, but without Vince
Yeah,
in his ear, it's
yeah,
something else.
exactly.
Having in mind that he's been significantly better ever since Pat McAfee joined him on the
Yeah,
commentary table. Because I don't care what you guys say, Michael Cole and Pat McAfee are great together. They're so wholesome. I uh, I don't know, like Johnny Gargano. I was almost sure that he was returning to WWE.
oh yeah,
Like yeah, uh, and that's not me saying that he wouldn't have fit in AEW. That I'm not saying that, but Johnny is so good that he'll actually fit in anywhere because well he's Johnny Wrestling, you know, and him being back when Triple H is in charge makes all the sense in the world,
yeah.
and I can't wait for him to do a lot of stuff. I already love him for kicking the crap out of Theory.
Yeah,
Uh, I'm so do not care for Theory right now. Uh, like the last time I ever gave a crap about him was way back in NXT when they were the
the
way.
way. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and he was actually funny. Like he was the goon with the muscles.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
actually hoping that when he came back, I don't know what that meant, but I once I said it, I was like, huh, but but what I was hoping for is Gargano to kind of like talk to him, like, what the hell you doing, dude? Like, this isn't the Theory that I know. Like, I was kind of like he'd take him under like his wing again and just kind of let's go back to the way. That's what I was hoping because I'm hoping Candace comes back and stuff like that. But when you were talking about Gargano, I noticed you smiled, and I know something that makes you smile and laugh. So here you go. I found it. So I yeah. So, but I absolutely love that he's back. And I have a feeling Candace is going to be coming back. And I love the reaction that they posted of baby Gargano or baby
Baby
wrestling rather.
wrestling.
Yep, baby wrestling. I love that. Um, it was wholesome. It was great. Um, and I think hopefully soon we see Candace come back. I love what.
Where?
Oh, she'll be on Raw. She'll be on Raw.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was asking if you
Oh,
meant WWE.
oh yeah, she's going to
Okay.
WWE on
You
more than.
sure?
I think so.
Okay.
I do. I think she does. I mean, she could go to AEW. I mean, they could use her. Square. What? You got to tell me. I have no idea what you're
No,
trying.
the give back her border, like the
Oh, gotcha. I
coexisting
was
thing.
like, yeah, I will. Here we go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure. I can see. I can see Candace. Coming back. I always. I always think that she'll be awesome in AEW, but the more I think about it, they don't need new women. They just need to pay attention to that roster. Like they seriously, they don't need new women. They're fine. They just need to build them up. Yeah. So Are we going to talk about Index now, or do you want
Yeah,
us
go
to
ahead.
finish?
Yeah.
Or do you want us to finish Dynamite first?
Well, we'll
And
go back to it like after we talk about Index.
yeah, okay. So
That made you happy, huh? I love the reaction that they next.
I love. Okay, this is so amazing. Like I would have been immensely disappointed if they didn't do that.
Oh yeah,
Like they're starting to remember their own history, and this is the biggest thumbs up for me. Like this is one of the biggest accomplishments that Triple H has done ever. Like he's consistent with his own product. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but this is so good. This,
yeah.
this is such an improvement. I love it. Like the fact that like their wedding was the last episode of the old NXT, and then
Was it
it
really?
hit
Wow.
shit hit the fan afterwards. Like this was the end of an era, their wedding, and then everything blew apart. But then he started coming back to the main roster. Like he invaded matches for Miz and AJ Styles. Why are you so bright?
I don't
Did
know.
you do some? Like you weren't that bright like at the start of the show.
I have no idea what I
Now
did.
it's as if you have an angel in your room.
Well, we know that's not true.
Okay.
There.
Oh yeah,
Better.
there you go. No, but you're not in the center now.
Better.
No, I mean your camera.
I was like, what are you talking about?
That's fine. Thank you. I'm sorry. It's my
It's
OCD. I'm sorry. So yeah, and when Indy, yeah, yes, there you go, there you go. And when Indy got a note from Dexter Loomis, I knew, and I was like, okay, we're getting this. This is so great. And then it happened. As I mentioned on Twitter, I'm just so sure that Beth Phoenix has been busting him out of jail all these weeks
I would love it.
just so she can drive him to to CWC and just get together with Indy. Like that hug, I
Yeah.
can't remember the last time I cried during a WWE show, whether alone an NXT one,
Yeah.
like at all. I
That's,
think that the last time I got a emotion watching NXT was when AJ Styles came into the performance center. No, not a performance center. In front of
Full
in front
Sail.
of an NXT crowd.
The Full Sail one was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like because like they've never seen him,
Yeah. Oh, that reaction.
and he
Holy
looked
hell.
so that reaction. He looked so natural. And when Kevin Owens came back to NXT for
Survivors or War Games.
yeah, like this Jesus, yes.
Yep.
This was so great. This was so I'm so happy. Like this and then the way the note he gave her afterwards, I love you, I must go now.
Yeah.
No, I'm it didn't say that, but it was
Yeah.
like basically that. And then he went out of the building and and you can see like the police sirens in the cars, and they just arrested him and he just walked away.
Yeah.
Like this was straight out of a movie. I love goofy stuff so much, is in my nature, all right? Like this was so amazing. I love it. I don't know, like Index was so fun for me in NXT. Like I love the wrestling, okay? But when you have this sort of entertainment, I'm all for that. Okay? All for that.
Yeah. I loved it absolutely. The before we go back to AEW, I saw that that Renee Paquette was in Orlando today at WWE.
Yeah,
Like,
she was. I saw the video of the makeup.
that's pretty cool. It sounds like she's probably doing some video work or something, or like interview or probably something for Peacock, or I would assume. But I like it. I always think she's somebody that I kind of look at her kind of like I can't see her. I can't picture her on a different like covering a different wrestling show. Does that make any sense? She's
I
just one of those.
know
It would just seem weird. I'm not saying she can't, obviously. But I'm just saying it would
she's
seem weird.
great
Yes, I
at what
absolutely
she
love her.
does. She's so great.
Yeah.
But like she's been on that show for so many for so much time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's go back to AEW, and before we go to that, in about 10 minutes, Kaden's going to join us and talk about the TV media with WCW, with AEW, Warner, and stuff like that. So he'll be joining us in about 10 minutes, just for a few minutes to talk about that, because we have a couple of questions regarding that. Let's talk about this Thunder Rosa stuff. She relinquished her AEW Women's Championship
In
title.
under 2 minutes, Rob.
Yeah.
In a backstage segment.
Yeah, a lot of people were not happy about that.
I'm not happy about that.
I was going to say I'm included in that. I thought it was kind of weird that, or it's definitely weird. Why do you only let that happen for 2 minutes when you gave CM Punk however many minutes a couple or months ago, and then this is just like, I like Tony Khan just like a lot of us do, but he's not listening to the critics on this one, and he needs to. This is something he needs to do. I don't get it.
I'm so pissed off about that.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, and there's a point where he needs to realize that he's not going to lose viewers by having another women's match like for like 1 week or 2 weeks out of the month. If he doesn't have to do it every month or every week, I'm just saying, like, he needs to do it more than he does, and he doesn't need to have it in the same time frame, because in a way what people are doing is when that match comes on, when that 9:20 match or whatever, the 9:15 match, people know they can change it and come back in a few minutes later and watch. That needs to change. They need to change it up some more. And I know they changed it this past week, but they need to have a better system in place, in my opinion, with how they schedule the women's matches. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying I'm wrong, but
at this point, Rob, I would be fine with just treating your women's champion like you're treating your men's champion.
Yeah.
At this point, at least, give Thunder Rosa the time you gave your other champions on your show. This is embarrassing. Okay.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And the one thing I will say about this is everybody loves Jade Cargill. I absolutely love her. Jade Cargill is getting more time than Thunder Rosa, and that just baffles me. I mean, this is your champion, and that just absolutely baffles me. And I know Thunder Rosa came out with a statement today, and she said that the part where she was running away from people and hiding from them is not true. I didn't really believe that from the get-go. I hope whatever is going on between her and some of the wrestlers gets figured out. But yeah, it's just a weird situation all around, and I hope they get it fixed.
I know that people are saying, okay, give the belt to Jamie Hayter, give the belt to Tony Storm. Guys, if the situation doesn't change, it really doesn't matter who holds that belt, all right? Like we said, give the belt to Thunder Rosa when Britt Baker had it. And before Britt Baker had it, and Sheeta had it, and Sheeta is an amazing wrestler, we said, just give the belt to Britt Baker. We've been saying that all the time. It's not about the wrestlers. It's about the time they've been giving and the way they've been booked.
Yeah.
All the women's champions that AEW have had are tremendous in the ring, and they've proved that on numerous occasions.
Yeah.
Riho, the first AEW champion, when she had the match against the Professor at a buy-in for Double or Nothing. A buy-in. This was one of my favorite women's matches for 2021, if you remember.
Mhm.
Yeah. Sheeta and Nyla Rose at Double or Nothing 2020 was an amazing match. I love that match so much. It was during the pandemic. Uh, like Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker like blew the roof off both times they were in the ring. Jamie Hayter is like she's been doing so great. We don't need to say how amazing Toni Storm is because like she's been wrestling for how many years now, and
Yeah.
how many different companies now. Like she doesn't need to to prove herself in front of anybody. You just need to give her the time that she needs, and that's it.
So
Like
yeah.
it's not that. It's not about how good the wrestler is. They were all good, and they still are good. But when they're missing, like you remember, Thunder Rosa didn't even get in the ring after she won that championship. Like she did promos on the ramp. She didn't even get in the ring. Like,
Yeah.
what was that? Like, that's Thunder fucking Rosa. Like, do you do you hear that pop every time people hear her music?
Yeah.
That's a whole different situation. Britt Baker will always be loved and or hated. Like, you're not. You will never be indifferent towards Britt Baker. You either love her or you hate her, and
Yeah.
that's saying something. All right, like that's just how good she is.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to some interesting news this week. Eddie Kingston, it was came out that he was suspended after an incident with Sammy Guevara. Um, he made a comment to Sean Ross Sapp on Fightful Select, and basically just said that. Well, it wasn't actually on Fightful Select. He basically said that what he did was wrong, and that's all he said. He just, and that was pretty much it. And then this is where the Fightful Select part comes in. Sean got a story from Sammy Guevara and got Sammy Guevara's take on it, and Eddie Kingston responded to that this morning. And there was a lot of things that Eddie Kingston responded to this morning, and I'm actually, instead of just talking about it, I'm going to show you the tweets because these are better. Okay, so this was the first one. Okay, F it. Okay, then after this, I'm chilling, but leave Sammy alone. In the court of law, he is the victim. Let it go and leave the kid alone. For real, done with this. Then the next one.
Fuck yes.
Okay, this might actually have been the order went wrong on my computer, so it doesn't matter now. Disco Inferno, aka Disco. I'm not going to say the rest what I was going to call him, but he basically said wrestlers and fans need to put a full stop on fat shaming. That I agree with. I agree with. The wrestlers being fat shamed need to be put an effort into the gym and diet instead of playing victim. That I do not agree with. Do the effing work and stop embarrassing this. Well, Disco Inferno is not one to talk about anybody embarrassing about the business, because he's just not. He's like one of the last people you should listen to when it comes to this business. He's just pathetic. Eddie Kingston had a response very similar to Cody Rhodes' response before, like a couple of years ago. Eddie Kingston's response was, "You never did the work, and the boys kept you around to laugh at you. I remember hearing the story where Big Show farted in your face. You ain't a man." Now, I will say this. Big Show has farted in a lot of people's faces. There's video of him where he pulled Kevin Owens out of the way.
Oh no, let's stop it.
Okay. Well,
Like,
do you know what
I will never get, toilet humor or fart jokes
Well, all I'm
or
saying
whatever.
is what he just I'm not going, like, all I was going to say is basically he pulled Kevin Owens out of the way, and then he let loose and basically locked Kofi Kingston and I think Xavier Woods and Sasha Banks' husband in a room. But that was that. Yeah. But anyways, that's that. So the next one, Eddie Kingston. AEW did 1 million in ratings, right? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how Mox ripped the head off a snake on live TV. Let's talk about how great my best friend Penta match was. Okay. We already know that Kingston and Punk don't like each other. That's a fact. Penta's match was unbelievable. I will say that too. And then the last tweet, this wasn't Kingston, but this one caught my attention because it's Maggie's guy Miro. And it was a quote retweet from Kingston talking about Sammy, and he goes, "Kid equal fighting words. I'm no commish, but we need this resolved in the ring ASAP." And he tagged Sammy Guevara. I like it. I do. I like it. I like it a lot. So, you okay?
Something's happening in my apartment, and I have no idea what.
Oh, I hear it
I'm
now.
hearing like a lot of dripping, from my bathroom, and I haven't.
Well, if you need to go check it out, that's fine.
I don't think I want to. I'm a bit scared.
Okay, well, so interesting. But yeah, I hope this match takes place. Now, a couple of weeks ago at AEW Rampage, Sammy Guevara basically accepted Eddie Kingston's challenge, but they cut that out of the taping because of what happened between the two. I'm hoping this gets put back on because now the way they both can look at it, they can both make money. Now the thing is can Eddie Kingston put that part away to make money? I think he can. Will he probably hold resentment against Sammy Guevara for the rest of his life? Probably. But it'd be interesting if they let the two go in the ring at it. I gotta say, it'd be interesting to see what happens.
I would feel a bit like when they square off, and I would be like, please don't hit for real.
Yeah, it'd be definitely intriguing. But yeah, that was just.
Okay, so Rob decided to ditch me. Okay. Okay, so talking about those sorts of.
I don't know what happened there. I lost internet for a split second. So. Oh well, the computer didn't freeze. I just lost internet for a second. So.
That's great. So I was just about to say. When we're talking about those kinds of matches between people who truly despise each other, well, we all know that Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa really do not like each other, like at all. But like they work with each other, and like they've had matches, and those matches were great. And yeah. You okay?
Very good stuff. Yeah, I was checking to see where Kaden was, but I think I gave him the link. Maybe I didn't. I didn't, so that's good. But yeah, the last one.
Is he here?
He's not in the chat yet. He will be. Will Ospreay. Ospreay and Ozzy.
Can we just talk for a little bit about? We're going to get at All Out, FTR and Wardlow versus Motor City Machine Guns and Jesus. Who was the third man?
Jay Lethal?
Jay Lethal. Yeah, well, I hear Motor City Machine Guns and instantly nothing else matters for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Why are we getting teams from Impact again, but no women? Like, why is that? Like, first of all, let me just say that I'm just so incredibly happy that I'm going to see FTR versus Motor City Machine Guns. I am so up for that. Like this has been a dream match for me and for a lot of people, I'm sure. But like I know that Wardlow and FTR are a potential trio, and I'm happy about that. And of course, also the Pinnacle. But it's I know Wardlow just won the championship, but I kind of want to see him do more with it, and have some challenges and some matches. But like, of course, I'm incredibly happy about having this match. I will never, I will never not want this match.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so great. Oh my god, FTR and Motor City Machine Guns in the same ring.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
it's
Yes,
something
please.
that, well, they somebody hint. I don't know if somebody hinted at it a couple of weeks ago, but I know somebody said something about wanting to see that match, and all of a sudden we get it. I love it. That was that was that was that made my day. But so yeah, that match is going to be good. I can't wait for that. All Out all of a sudden went from only having like one or two matches to now we're actually getting some good matches again. I mean, we knew we'd
Yeah,
get some good
sure.
matches, but um,
Yes, Ryan. Of course, I'm demanding. It's Wardlow.
that is true. This, but all right. Well, we'll talk more about Dynamite here in a minute, but we have Kaden here. What's up, buddy? Welcome. So we're going to talk to Kaden about some of the TV stuff because we're just kind of curious about what's going on.
Why do you have better hair than me?
I don't know. It's
I have
just
great
the way it
hair.
is.
I cannot find headphones, so I really hope there's not an echo.
You're fine.
Yeah, it's good to me.
You're fine.
So basically, Kaden, give a little bit of background to like what you do at that crappy college you go to.
So I go to the University of Florida. I am Rob's enemy. He hates me. So I basically what I am is I'm a journalism major in sports and media, and I've spent the last few, like basically since I was probably like 10 or 11, watching a lot of like film behind the scenes and listening to a lot of film podcasts. So with this whole Warner Discovery merger coming up, and it's now gone into wrestling, like my two worlds have bleeded into each other. So it's a really interesting thing to kind of see what's going on with all of this and how wrestling all of a sudden it really pertains to film and media.
Yeah. So to start off, like what is going on between Warner Discovery and AEW?
What's going on between Warner and Discovery? I'll start with that part of it first. So Warner Media and Discovery are having this massive merger. And basically what it's similar to the Disney and Fox merger from a few years ago, except one was an acquisition. This one's a little bit more of like a straight up merger between the two. It's a little bit more confusing with this one, but what's happening is that these two massive media conglomerates are coming together. And with that comes a new set of leadership led by, on the film side and TV side, his name is David Zaslav. He's the guy who's been making all these decisions, like cutting Batgirl, all of those big things that we've been hearing about the last few months about what's going on at Warner, what they're keeping, what they're getting rid of, what they're adding in. That's all coming from this one guy, David Zaslav. If you're a Marvel fan, he's kind of like the Kevin Feige of DC right now in terms of the decisions he's making. So that's what he's doing. And so because they're combining forces here, there's a lot of issues with Warner, a lot of their debt that they're having to solve and prioritize profits over the next few years. So with this whole new regime coming in, they have their new priorities set on what they want, what type of content they want, what directions they want to go, where they think the most money is to be made. And that's now coming into AEW. AEW is looking for a raise on their next contract. We knew that the whole time since they signed that first TV deal. That was not a very expensive deal. They didn't get a lot of money from it. It's the second one where they're supposed to be making most of their money. The issue with David Zaslav coming in and new leadership is that we heard about this, I think, about a year and a half ago now. The guy who got them that deal with TNT, he's gone. He's no longer in the company. The guy who did this, who got them their first TV deal and got them on TNT in the first place, he's no longer with the company. So their big connection is gone. The second thing is with Warner making a ton of budget cuts. Sorry, Rob, do you have a question?
No, nope.
Okay. So the second thing about it is that with Warner making all these budget cuts, do they think it's beneficial to give that big raise? Or do they think that the price they're giving them, or maybe like 10 million more, or not like, yeah, but I think 10 million is about a decent raise, but not like this big raise that they were expecting to get, to really give them all this money that they kind of need. I know a lot of people overlook it, but they haven't made a profit in the first few years. They've never had a profit because of this video game. They are very much backing on this TV rights deal and getting that money in order to have AEW be a successful company, because right now they're really not. Like they're not making money. So with all of this, it's a question of a few different things that I can delve more into depth later depending on what you ask, but it's a matter of does Warner, one, do they want AEW in the first place? Two, do they think that what price they're spending right now is worth the amount of money, or if they should give them more, if they should give them less? And then the other question is, do they think that they need that content? Does it drive viewers more than something that they already own, have already spent the money on? Will that do a similar amount of money, or will they make that money up? Like, can they realistically make that money up by not renewing AEW's contract?
Maggie, you have a question?
Is this similar to the WCW thing?
No, this is very different than the WCW situation. I was not alive when the WCW thing happened, so I know all this just from reading and reading books, listening to podcasts. But the difference between the two is that AEW is being licensed here, so it's a much different situation. All they're having to do is pay the money to AEW, and AEW provides the product. Whereas with WCW, they owned WCW, they owned the company, they owned the contracts, everything came out of their pockets, rather than just giving a set amount over a few years, where they say, here's the amount of money that you get. We don't care how much money you spend to put your show on, but we're not giving you more than what it is that we're giving you in this contract. So I think it's actually better because they're licensed. And I think it's hard to explain if it's better or if it's worse, because if you look at it two different ways, if it's licensed, yes, it's overall going to be cheaper than if they owned the wrestling. That is correct. And that's what a lot of people they bring up when they say AEW is not in trouble. It's extremely cheap to put on. I agree. It is a cheap show to put on. It's cheap to license wrestling. But does Warner and this new leadership, do they want to license it, or do they want to have full ownership? There's a big difference, and some would, like the last regime, preferred licensing. This new regime has said time and time again, we want original content. We want our own content. We want to put more money into HBO original content, like more Game of Thrones type shows. They prioritize that over the licensing deals, and they're actually doing the opposite. Instead of licensing things, they're taking their properties that they don't want to pay residuals for to show on HBO. They're trying to license that out to other people. Like, they're doing the complete opposite. Instead of getting licensing deals, they're trying to get other people to take their content that they don't want.
Okay, so where is AEW in the ratings and in viewership wise right now?
So AEW just did 1 million, which was the first, I believe, since Blood and Guts, which is a very good number. Rampage that's Dynamite. Rampage is a whole other story, and it's a very complicated thing with Rampage that I think no matter how much research you do, it's I don't think that unless it's doing below like 300,000, that it's an easy thing to look at, because it really depends. It's in a bad time slot. It's not live, but it's also cheap content because they probably aren't paying as much for Rampage just because of the way they tape it. I assume they're not going to pay as much for Rampage, but I think then the question becomes, does Warner think that they can pull similar viewership by just throwing on a movie at 10 p.m. on a Friday night, which, in my opinion, I don't think, like right now, if you look at Rampage, I do not think Rampage gets renewed. I am about 75% confident that Rampage is not going to get renewed right now, at least in that same spot. They might do a trial to see if it moves to a different time slot on like a Thursday, which I think they're doing a Thursday when they're in Toronto in October. If it could do better, which is very possible, it might do better in a different time slot. But in this time slot, it's not going to stay.
What about 7? Why aren't they doing the 7 p.m. thing?
So I don't fully know. It's on right now. It's on TNT. It's about to go to TBS. I think the worry about it being on at that time is I first don't think Warner wants to go head to head with SmackDown. Same reason why they've never gone head to head with Raw. I don't think they want to go head to head with WWE whatsoever. The other thing I think is that I'm pretty sure they do basketball and hockey games Fridays at those times. So they're trying to make sure that they don't bleed over as much as possible.
Okay. That makes sense the way you're saying that. So where do you see the relationship between Warner Discovery going with AEW? Like you kind of went into that about where you see Rampage, but do you in the long run see Dynamite staying with TNT or TBS rather?
So I'm being I'll admit I'm being very pessimistic about this just because David Zaslav, I think that the way he works is more based on gut feeling. So if I am in his position, knowing his background, which I'm not going to get into because it's very hard to get into this guy, but if I can put myself into his shoes, think about what gut feeling he would have, I think that there is a 10% chance that AEW gets a big raise. So this big raise that they are banking on, I don't think it happens with Warner. I think it's right now, I believe it's 50-50 with if they get renewed in the first place. I think it's mainly going to come down to, yes, they're doing great viewership. I get that. And I understand the argument being made is they're number one. And even if they're not cracking a million, they're usually number one, number two. And if they're not, they're losing to basketball, football, hockey, whatever. The big thing, though, is it's going to come down to what David Zaslav and the leadership at Warner Brothers thinks about the product. Because you look at what happened with Batgirl, and they dumped Batgirl because they said, we don't want this terrible content on our streaming. We don't want to put this terrible content out. So whether I think it's good, whether you think AEW is good, whether you think AEW is the worst show you've ever seen, it's going to mainly come down to the opinions of leadership. And I think if they watch AEW and they think this is not a good show, which in my opinion, the last 2 to 3 months have not been good, they're going to look at it and say, no, we don't need this. Somebody else can go spend the money. It's not worth it.
Yeah. Okay. So my last question before we let you go, why would Warner not want to renew AEW? Like, if it's somewhat cheap content and does, like, we know it's number one in ratings on like every Wednesday for the most part. I could see that dropping here in October when the elections get closer. But I think after November they'll start going back up to number one again. You know, there'll be that short period of time where they won't be number one in just based off history. But I just want to hear what you think about that.
So I think a lot of people, I mentioned this a little bit in my last point. I think a lot of people are being a little narrow-sighted when looking at this. You're looking at it right down the middle of, does it make money? Does it not? How does it do in ratings? All of that. And that's perfectly makes sense. Business-wise, that's what you would think. But if you look at the decisions that they've made, it's a mixture. Some of it is pure money, but a lot of it is also based off of how they want people to view Warner Brothers. So with AEW doing, so with AEW doing a lot of the blood and I'm doing a lot of the cussing, Meltzer already reported that they want the cussing toned down. I don't think they've said anything about the blood yet, which surprises me. I think that's coming soon. But with the way Warner is going, I don't think that. I think they're going to be more worried about their association and their value of the brand rather than the money. If they think that overall AEW's content might hurt their brand value, then that's something that they're going to dump. So I already know I'm going to get a lot of hate because of what I'm saying. Like, I already know I'm going to get people ripping into me on it because it's not a popular opinion to say that you think AEW is just not going to get dumped. But that's personally what I feel looking at this situation. Zaslav is known for going off of what he likes. And it's really going to come down to if he thinks it's good for the brand, if he likes the product, and money is going to certainly be one of the big factors in it. But it's proven now that they do good ratings. Then the question is, does Warner want them? And there's an argument to be made that Warner might not want that product. They might say, we're not going to focus on wrestling. We're not going to focus on live products or that type of live product. We're going to focus more on original content like House of the Dragon, like Game of Thrones, like Succession, like Righteous Gemstones, all these things that HBO built their name off of.
Okay. Well, that makes sense then. So I was just trying to read that Meltzer article, but I think there's going to be some more news coming out about that pretty soon. But Kaden, I appreciate you stopping by, man. You answered some questions that we had, so I really appreciate that. And we'll have you back on sometime again soon.
Yeah, I hope I explained it well because it is a very complicated situation that just has so many different pieces in it.
Yeah, it seems like it. That's why when I've heard like a lot of the things going on with the Warner movies, like the comic book movies, I know they, like you said earlier, they pulled the Batgirl movie, and I know some people are worried about the Ezra Miller stuff, and it sounds from what I understand, they're going to keep that because they know they can still make money off of it. But it's just really interesting. And again, I just want to say thank you for stopping by. And when we have more questions down the road, we'll have you here.
Yep. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Thank you, buddy. Take care. Bye-bye. That was cool. He answered some questions that we both had.
I still have no knowledge of how American television works. I don't know how Bulgarian television works, by the way, if that's something.
Yep, I'm getting it because I had to put those because it wouldn't work with 3 people. So
I know.
Let's put it back up there.
I forgot what we were talking about.
We were going into AEW again.
I know. We're all over the place today.
Yeah, today we are.
We talked about FTR and Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah. We were going into the Aussie Open and Will Ospreay match. And Steph crying, go, holy crap. I love the match. There was only one thing that I did not like. And unfortunately, the same person who I never like agreeing or who I never want to agree with me and the person I don't ever like agreeing with, Jim Cornette, said the same thing. That waiting period between Pac, where he basically
on the ring post.
Yeah,
when
that took way too long.
I know.
That drove me nuts. But other than that,
I rather him wait for that amount of time than not waiting and positioning himself as he should and not doing it right. The good thing is that the camera stood on him as opposed to showing the others on the floor waiting for him. Like that would have been because they learned from that. They used to do that in the early episodes of AEW and during the pandemic also. So that's a step up. I know. I get it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That was a little. If it
that
came to,
Phoenix Hurricanrana for Will Ospreay from the top rope and Will Ospreay landing on his feet. I know we've seen that move a lot, but okay, the moment I stop being amused by that spot is the moment I learn to do it myself, and that's not happening. So, so I will always love that spot.
It was, but I loved the match. It was good, and
The post stuff was
post-
great.
the post stuff. And from what I understand, it won't air tonight at all. It probably won't air at all. But Omega and Ospreay went at it, and a lot of that where this started at was Fightful.com when Sean.
I know Sean will never shut up about this.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, that's
This
okay though.
started from a Fightful interview
Yep.
that Sean was a part of.
And we got to promote it because it was a big deal. It was absolutely awesome, and I hope, I'm hoping this sets up a match for those two, a singles match for those two at Wrestle Kingdom's. What I'm hoping, because that's the next.
Oh yes, please, yes.
Because that's
yes.
the next pay per view, I believe, for AEW, or not AEW, but that's AEW's next pay per view is not until Full Gear, I believe, right? Or no, Full Gear would be in November.
All Out.
When I mean after All Out, for Full Gear, I guess they could do that at Full Gear.
And
so, yeah.
after Full Gear is Revolution, but like that's March. I think
February, March. So yeah, I messed that up. But Full Gear will be in November, so maybe we could see that in November, if not Wrestle Kingdom. But you would think,
I want to see Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You would think that New Japan would be like, hey, we want this one, you know? So,
yeah, not only that, but like the majority of their promo back and forth thingy is about being big in Japan.
Yeah.
This is like the big thing here.
Yep.
Who is better in Japan? Like, is it Kenny or is it Will Ospreay?
Yeah.
Of course it's Kenny, but there's...
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with that. But the next thing we're doing now, Cooper Effect.
A damn fine cup of coffee.
So our Cooper Effect today is, instead of a story, we're just going to show the video. It's really cool. It's about a man who got reunited with his dog after 3 years. Was it 3 years, Maggie?
I think it was 3 years. Yeah.
Here we
after
go.
it being lost.
Yeah. Check it out. Here we go. Yeah. That sounded like the little whatever you had at the beginning of the show. All right. The horn, what is that? I don't know the name of it. The party.
Well, I'm not gonna say how. No, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going there.
Okay. Well, I'm a dog person, so that, like, the first 6 times I watched that, it got me. It still gets me. It's awesome. I love it when good things happen, because I think most of society prefers animals over other people these days. Yeah, I'm happy for the dog. I'm happy for the family, or the man that got his dog back. That's what we call good shit, pal. But yeah, that Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega stuff, that was classic. I definitely recommend reading into that if you can. Moving on, the Vince McMahon documentary that people have been talking about that got put on hold. Supposedly that's back on. Yay. Exciting stuff there. I'm not really. Who gives a damn, really? It's like I don't really want to. I like him being gone. You know what I mean?
I want to watch it. I really want to watch it.
I do and I don't for many reasons, because just how much like history there, like just I do
know.
want to see it. I guess it's just it's like cringe watching. You know, I know what I'm getting into.
It's just I can't stop watching. You know, it's like it's so bad that I cannot possibly turn my eyes. I cannot turn away. You know.
Yeah. So
I'm not meaning I don't mean I'm gonna enjoy the crap out of it. I just really want to watch it.
Yeah. So just so everyone knows, in about 15 minutes we'll be going over to Fightful Select for Coexisting After Dark, and our guest today is none other than Mr. Alex McCarthy. So I'm very, very excited for that. That's gonna be awesome.
Like Rob's excited because I'm gonna mark the crap out of.
I think marking out is for people is perfectly fine. Like I really do. I think it's great. So let's go ahead and talk about the AEW Rampage preview tonight.
Are we getting a video from CM Punk?
Yeah, we will see footage of CM Punk after his match with Moxley. So maybe that'll set something up. We'll see. You're gonna have the Ring of Honor World Championship match between Claudio Castagnoli versus Dustin Rhodes.
I can't wait for this match. Dustin has had the matches of his life in AEW.
Wardlow with the TNT Championship Open Challenge. We'll see who he takes on.
I don't care.
It doesn't matter as long as
it doesn't matter.
AEW World Trios Championship Tournament, House of Black taking on Dark Order and a mystery partner. If you guys know the results already, do not put them in chat, please. Mixed tag team match with Sammy Guevara and Tay versus Ortiz and Ruby Soho. So that's your AEW Rampage. It actually sounds like a solid show for once.
Sounds like a solid show, sure, but like I don't think I can stand watching Ruby Soho lose another match.
Yeah.
Nope.
Unfortunately.
Nope.
Tonight, SmackDown is live from Detroit, Michigan. So they are recording two SmackDown, or they're going live for the first SmackDown. The second SmackDown is being recorded because next week WWE is headed over to for the Clash at the Castle. So
no.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Sandcastle pay-per-view.
Oh, Sandcastle. I'm sorry.
Sandcastles in the sand.
Jesus. but tonight, we're getting Ricochet versus Happy Corbin. We're getting a fatal four-way second chance match for the women's tag team tournament with Doudrop, or Piper Niven, and Nikki Cross versus Xia Li and Shotzi versus Natalya and Sonya Deville, versus Tamina and Dana Brooke. Yay. I don't know who I want to win that match. Probably Piper and Nikki is what I'm guessing.
Why is this happening? Why didn't Mandy Rose take Gigi's place in this match? Why?
That I don't know. That I do not know, my friend. I don't know. You have Drew McIntyre taking on Sami Zayn, and the New Day returns. So they're back from their funeral. So that's that.
Shocking.
Yeah.
SmackDown still sucks, by the way.
Yeah, it hasn't been the best at all. So that's. I hope Papa H can take care of that pretty soon here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's the thing. It's.
I don't think I can carry the show this week because Rob is the hero of the show this week. It's really it's a bit too weird for me. So it's no longer coexisting with Rob and Maggie, okay? It's existing with Maggie. Welcome to Existing with Maggie.
Whatever. I'm back. What the heck? Not even my computer freezes. Just the internet goes out for whatever reason for a second. Ricardo the Wizard says, Maggie, I'm going to see Megadeth.
and Five Finger Death Punch tonight.
That's awesome.
Are-
I've never seen Megadeth. I've seen Five Finger Death Punch a few times.
Well, I'm not those bands' biggest fan, like, at all, but I'm really excited for you, Ricardo. And is this one show, or separately on different stages? Is it like is it a big concert with different stages, or are they playing on one stage? Like, this is.
And thank you
But
for
I'm
the
really
super
happy
chat.
for you. Like, I hope you have fun. Rob, you said something? I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying it sounds like a good show though.
Yeah.
I've never seen Megadeth. That sounds awesome though.
Oh, okay. It's
One show. Cool. That's nice. Yeah, it's amazing I didn't disappear there. I'm surprised. My internet showed that it was going out again, but it didn't go anywhere. So it's a miracle. It's a miracle. Well, how about some jokes?
Rob, the internet connection is happy about you as well.
Yeah.
So it's
That's good.
choking.
Jesus. Here we go. Maggie, are you
I
ready?
love how before you start telling the jokes, you get
Yeah. I always laugh because I forget like the ones that I wrote down. This time I didn't write them down because I didn't have enough time, so I did a screenshot. Today's just dad jokes. Rest in peace, boiling water. You will be missed.
Why do your first jokes usually end up being the best ones?
I don't know. I just two guys walked into a bar. The third guy ducked.
What?
I don't know. I just liked it, I guess. Mom said I could do lunges to stay in shape. That would be one big step forward.
Okay.
Some of them are so damn bad.
But that's the good part.
6:30 p.m. is my favorite time of day. Hands down.
Why?
The clock, you know.
Oh, okay.
Hands down. Okay, there we go.
I'm sorry it took so much time.
Your mom got mad at me because she told me to sink her phone, so I threw it in the ocean. That's not.
Oh,
Okay, well, Maggie liked it.
I'm sorry. It takes me so much time.
No, that's
Like,
okay. That's okay. For a second, I just I didn't think she liked it. I ordered a chicken and an egg online. I'll let you know which one comes first. Ba-dum-bum. Okay. Now, I used to hate facial hair, but it grew on me.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I think you did this one.
I probably did that one. I'm reading an anti-gravity book, and I just can't put it down. And the last one is I'd avoid sushi. Sushi. It's a little fishy.
Yeah.
That was pretty dumb. Oh well. I tried to save the best for last, and that was actually awful. Let's see if I can find at least a good one to go out with.
I think this was your best joke reel.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, since we've started.
Okay, let's try this one. Mom says I have no sense of direction, so I packed my bags and left.
Your expression was the thing that got me. Like,
Yeah.
you were just dead eye at the camera.
Yeah. Jesus. All right, guys. We're moving over to Fightful Select with Alex McCarthy as our gift. What the hell is wrong with me right now? With our guest. I can't even talk. Is our guest today. We're going to have fun over there on Fightful Select for Coexisting After Dark. Maggie, tell everybody where they can find you.
Guys, you can follow me on Twitter at Maggie_IK and on Instagram. I'm back on Instagram at Maggie.IK. It's not about wrestling there. It's just me. I'm sorry. But yeah, go follow us and please subscribe to Fightful Select and watch me mark out for Alex McCarthy on Fightful Select in about 5 minutes.
Guys, do me a huge solid. Hit that thumbs up button for us. That does a ton for us. Please do. If you leave a comment, we will reply to it. Either Maggie or myself will. You can follow me at Rob Wilkins on Twitter. Otherwise, you can follow me on Instagram at FightfulRob. And then next week, I will be doing the show from a place where I did the show a couple of months ago, where that damn phone would keep ringing in the background. So I'm going back to Georgia. Yeah, the owl. I'm hoping he's gone. Maggie hope it's still there, but
I
will be back there. So I'm looking forward to getting down there.
Also, guys, please go on the Fightful main channel and watch the Spotlight where they interviewed Rob, and it was such an amazing interview. Why didn't you plug it?
I forgot. But
it was such an amazing interview. Please go and watch it. Plus, even Jensen and Jeremy are the best.
Yes, I love those guys. The Spotlight this past week I was on there. We had fun. So go check it out. But check us out coming up next year on Fightful Select for Coexisting After Dark with Alex McCarthy and her biggest. Jesus Christ, we're done. Bye. I'm out. I'm going to drop F-bombs after F-bombs if I don't get out of here. Bye, guys.